teaching. And in case you don't get anything, you'll be able to follow through from that recording. Okay. So now, those of us who have not yet started our journey towards data science and data analytics, data science and data analytics is becoming one of the hottest skills that you can find in the market right now. Now, those of us who are on LinkedIn, you can go to LinkedIn, go to their job portal and search for data science or data analytics jobs or career. And you can see that you have a lot of job opportunities in data science and data analytics. Now, currently, most companies are looking for ways and means to leverage the data that they are collecting. At first, they were not having these data warehouses where they collect this kind of data that they are having right now. Now, most companies want to understand more about their customers, the market that they are operating in. So because of that, most of them are collecting a large amount of data. Now, they are looking for people or professionals who have data science and data analytics background to be able to take those kind of data and then analyze them and provide them with insights that they can use to make informed and better decisions. So right now, most companies are actually looking for people with data analytics and data science background. And one key thing about data analytics and data science is that you don't need to be, or we don't actually have, I don't know how to put it, but it cuts across all industry, okay? So even if you are not a typical data scientist, any job or role that you are playing in a company, you need to have a background in how you can use data to make decisions. Because now everything that we do is about data. Now, even the platform that we have all joined here right now, we are contributing to data. Because at the end of this training, I can go to the background of Zoom and I'll be able to get all those people who have signed up, what time we all spent here learning. So in case I want to find out those of us who were not able to join us up to the ending of this program, I'll be able to get all those people. So right now, everything that we do, right from your phone up to the time you go online, everything that we do is about data. And now to be able to understand what is happening around you, for companies to be able to understand their customers and to become more competitive, they need to understand what the data is telling them. And that's why they need people with data science and data analytics skills. And there has been a rise in the demand for people with data science and data analytics skills. So if I take myself as an example, where I am working currently, I'm working in one of the top 5 financial institutions in Ghana. I'm part of the finance team. I'm actually a financial analyst. I'm not a data analyst, but day to day, I spend my time analyzing data. So no matter what you do, or no matter what you want to do, you need to have a background in data and data analytics. And that's why we have made this course accessible to all of us. So we need to take advantage of this and then start learning towards data science. Even if you don't have the intention of becoming a data analyst or data scientist, you can add it to your toolkit or your skill set, and it will go a long way to help you. So our trainer or our instructor is in. So I'll give the platform for him to start. So let me give you a little background about Franklin. So Franklin is going to be our instructor for this section. So Franklin is actually a Microsoft certified data scientist. And he also works with us as a part-time instructor or a trainer. He also works full-time as a data scientist trainee in one of the leading data science companies here in Ghana. So today he's going to take us through how you can begin your journey in Python, how you can manipulate and handle data in Python. So he would use the opportunity to also give a little background about himself. So I wouldn't say much about him. So I'm handing over to him for him to introduce himself and then start the section. So Franklin, you can start. We are ready.
Thomas, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I've been trying to connect for the past 30 minutes.
Oh, Charlie.
Sorry.
Network that we have here. Thank you for coming.
Oh, you're welcome. Welcome, everyone. I'm Franklin AJ. To those who joined our first section, and you are
Franklin,
here.
Can you
Come
work
again.
on your background? It seems you like, I don't know if it's coming from your end. Okay, let me check the other participants. Okay. So frankly, you can go ahead.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yeah,
Or
it's
there is
okay.
still a
It's
feedback?
perfect.
It's okay. All
Yeah, it's
right.
okay.
So I'm Franklin AJ. I was saying to those who joined our first section, welcome to this second section. And if you were not here for our first section, you are welcome to our first section. In the first section, we talked about introduction to data science, and this time around, we are talking about data manipulation with pandas. Okay, so a little about myself. I'm from Kennedy once again. I'm a recent graduate of KNUST. I completed last year, in fact, which is 2019, and um, I'm currently with First Man, and I'm also with um, Amalitech, working as a data scientist. So I would say I didn't read anything concerning computer science or computer engineering. I read petroleum engineering. And fortunately for me, my passion for data science is what I'm using as my professional work now. So this is just a motivation for some of us on the call. It doesn't really matter which program you read, you can still use the passion and the drive to work to get excess skills that can help you work as a professional in the field. All right. So let's cut to the chase. We are 15 minutes behind time. Today we are talking about data manipulation with pandas, and we are not even talking about it. We are going to use the library itself to do one or two, three things so that we really understand the concepts. I'm sure most of us have heard the name pandas, all right? Yeah. So what's pandas? All right. Just as we talked about the data science procedures in the first section, this time around we are talking about pandas. What's the relation between pandas and introduction to data science, right? Now I mentioned in our first section that, please, am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
All right, thank you very much. What's the relation between the introduction to data science and pandas? Now I mentioned in our first section that in the data science procedures, you would have to work with the data first, all right?
So, Franklin,
Manipulating the, yeah, first was,
are you sharing a screen?
no, please, I'm not sharing any screen.
Okay,
I'm just talking now. I'll share my screen soon. Okay, so I mentioned that as a data scientist or someone going through the data science procedure, you would have to first work with the data, all right? The data, getting the data in the right form is the most of the salient point of the whole procedure, because if your data isn't right, you can't do any modeling with it, all right? And you cannot make any data-driven decision if the data is not in good shape. So for you to be able to get the data in good shape, you would have to analyze the data, and that's where you would need pandas. You use pandas as the specific tool that helps you to manipulate the data. All right. So pandas is used for data manipulation. Okay. Now, pandas itself comes with a few packages that helps you to visualize. Now, a lot of us know that when you are doing data manipulation, you would have to use pandas. But a few of us know that when you want to visualize data itself, you can use pandas also. Okay, but most of the data visualization packages are not within pandas. That's why we just forgo pandas and use matplotlib for data visualization. But then I'm trying to say that you can use pandas for data manipulation and also use for data visualization. Okay, that's what I just want you to understand. So working with pandas today, we are going to try an exercise for us to get a grip of the data manipulation processes. All right. Now, data manipulation. All right. What is data manipulation? As the name implies, you are trying to manipulate the data, but to what end? Okay. Are you always going to follow one procedure to manipulate data? The answer is yes, and it's also no. Okay. You are going to follow the same procedure in the sense that you always try to pinpoint some factors. What are some of the factors? You are going to pinpoint null values, All right. You are going to pinpoint the number of columns you are working with. You are going to pinpoint the number of rows you are working with. You are going to pinpoint the type of columns you are working with. Okay. So someone mentioned whether I'm sharing my screen. No. What I'm doing is I'm trying to use the first 10 minutes to talk about what we are going to do. Okay. So in data manipulation, I said, do you always follow the same procedure? The answer is both yes and no. Yes, in the sense that you would have to follow a list, or you would have to look at a few items that will help you to come to a point of saying this is what the data looks like. And what are some of those factors? I've mentioned some of them. I said null values. I mentioned the number of rows you are dealing with, the number of columns you are dealing with. All right. You will also look at the type of columns you are dealing with. Okay. Then when you're done with that, then you start going into details column by column to find out what the data really is about. Okay, so that's a general overview of data manipulation. What we are working on today, all right, is about the North American industrial companies. All right, what they have is a system. That system, what it does is it infers a specific unique number, like an identifier, like the way everybody has a unique fingerprint. They've done the same thing for their industries. All right. So here is the case. You can say we have fisheries as an industry. Okay. You can say we have mining as an industry. But instead of words, they are not using words. They are using numbers. Okay. So it's like they are coding the industries with numbers. So you can say 7. Immediately you say 7. 7 is no other industry than mining. So if they assign 7 to mining, every time you mention 7, you are referring to the mining industry. Okay, so that's the kind of system they've made for their industries, and that's what we are going to work on. Okay, so to be able to follow what we are doing today, I'm going to share the specific GitHub page that the information we are going to work on is. All right, so I'm sharing that in the chat. Kindly move to that repository for me. In the repository, you would realize that there are folders within the repository. I want you to take your time to look through, okay, for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Then I would come back again to mention the 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 points I want, or the points I want you to notice within the repository. Just glance through. All right. Okay. Please, have you received the link? Hello, please, can you hear me?
We have not received it. You said in the chat box. You don't have it in the chat box.
Yeah, in the chat box.
It's not yet in.
It's not yet here. I can't see.
All right. I see. Kindly hold on, please. Do you have it now? I didn't hear you. Please come again.
Actually, we don't have it.
Really?
Okay, Franklin, if possible,
Yeah.
share it with me on WhatsApp. I'll look at how I can get it. Okay, it seems it has come. Okay, it's here now. Okay, we have it.
Do you have it 3 times or you have it just once?
Just once for now.
Okay. All right. So kindly open it and have a look at what is there. There is one folder, a CSV file name folder. Then we have data output templates, LMO detailed industries by next. Then we have next 2017 statistics Canada. Then we have the Jupyter notebook we are working on today. All right. So kindly just look through. I want you to look at the 4 within the main folder. Then you open the CSV file too. Then you look at it. Okay. Just 2 minutes. I'll just come back. Then we talk about it. Make sure you look at it, please, especially the files within the CSV folder. Please, did you hear me?
Yes, Franklin. So you are going to look at it.
Yes,
All
I
right.
did. We'll look at it.
So kindly go through the exercise files, and then so that when he's trying to explain the concept, you'll be able to understand it. So the link has been provided in the chat. So the link has been provided in the chat. You can access it, and then you can go to the GitHub site and then look at those files, try to go through it so that when he starts with the practicals, you'll be able to understand all the concept that you want to put across. So kindly access it. Those of us who are watching it on our phones, I don't know if you'll be able to access it, but anyways, you can still
They
be
can,
able,
they can,
they can
they
still
can, they
access
can
it.
see the files.
Okay,
I just
okay.
want to see the files. I'll be doing the manipulation on my end, but I want them to just have a fair idea of what we are going to do in picture.
Okay, okay. So kindly take a look at the file so you'll be able to understand the concept.
Please, those who have accessed the GitHub page, how many CSV files do you have within the folder, please? The folder name CSV files, how many files do you have in it? It's supposed to be 15. Do you
So
have 15 files there?
for my end, I'm seeing just 5 of them.
5 of them.
Yeah, for the CSV folder, I have 5 files.
It's the
Please,
same with me. 5 files.
5 files. Okay.
Yeah, same here, 5 files.
Okay. Kindly refresh the folder again, refresh the page again, and tell me the number of files you have there.
Okay, so now we have, okay, roughly it might be the 10 that you are talking about.
15 files.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So 1 minute more, then I will start. Thank you very much. Okay, so it's 4:30 now. So looking at the 15 files within the folder, the CSV files named folder, those are the data sets you'll be working with, all right? Now, I mentioned that the North American people have been able to classify their industries with specific or unique numbers, right? So if you want to call out a specific industry, you would have to use that specific number, not the industry name, okay? So the 15 CSV files, all right? Let me share my screen so that please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, so hello, Festus. Thomas. Hello, Thomas.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm having a problem sharing the screen.
Okay. I've made you a co-host too.
All right, I think it's working now.
Okay.
All right, so can you see the screen?
Yes, it's now loading. We can see the screen, but we actually don't see anything.
You can't really see anything.
Yeah, what is the black background with Franklin AJ has started sharing screen, but we can't see anything yet.
Not a folder, not even a folder.
You can't see anything.
Still,
No, kindly exit or cancel it and then try. Okay, we can see it now.
I just stopped it.
Mm,
Let me do it again.
you can see it now.
I think I just stopped it, so it will stop sharing unless
Okay.
I do it again.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So can you see it now?
No.
Okay. Then let's be patient a bit and see.
Okay. Yeah,
All right.
you can see it now.
These are 15 CSV files, all right? And these CSV files are data for different years, okay? So I just want you to pay attention to this, the numbers over here, okay? Now you can see 00 to 05, okay? 06 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20, all right? 97 to 99, okay? 06 to 10, 15 to 15, they are years, okay? They are years. Now you can see 2 nicks, you can see 3 nicks, you can see 4 nicks. Now the 2 nicks, 3 nicks, 4 nicks are representing the numbers of the unique identifiers. So 2 nicks means just two numbers. So that means the industry has been labeled with 22 or 64 or 55 as the unique number. All right. Then 3 nicks is the industry has been labeled with three unique numbers. Let's say 333 or 537 or 255. All right. That means three different numbers. Okay. It can be recurring numbers like 911 or 111. Like, I'm not trying to say the numbers don't repeat. I'm saying the numbers are three numbers. All right. A number between 100, from 100 to 999. Okay. Then 4 nicks numbers is a number from 1000 to 9999. Okay. That's what the nicks number is about. The number of numbers. All right. So 2 means two numbers, 3, 3, 4, 4 numbers. Then the 00 to 005 means from 2000 to 2005, from 2006 to 2010, from 2011 to 2015, 16 to 20. Then we also have from 1997 to 1999. All right. Now, I'm just trying to mention them so that when we start working on them, you have a good idea of what we are working on, okay? The same for the 3, the same for the 4. Okay, so there are 15 CXV files. Can you see this particular section? I've gone back into the main data manipulation folder. Can you see it?
Yes, we can.
All right.
Yes, please.
So what we are going to work on is this. The data output, open the data output template on your machine and also open the LMO detailed industry on your machine for me. Okay. Open those two CSV files on your machine for me. Okay. The data output template is how your output should look like. Okay. Then your LMO detailed industry will give you the specific numbers of the industries in a specific CSV file or in an Excel file. Let me say it that way. So open them, then I'm still talking as you're opening it, right? So kindly pay attention as I talk about them. So what we are going to do today is with the 2 nicks, with the 3 nicks, and with the 4 nicks I mentioned, okay? You are going to combine all those 15 CXV files, okay? That's what we are trying to do today, okay? We are combining all those CSV files into one particular file, okay? So what it means is right now you have data for different years. You want to combine all those data into one specific data. Do you understand? So to do that, you would have to what? Import the necessary libraries, okay, to do that, okay? Please, you have the Excel files opened on your machine. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Please, can you resend the link again? I changed my phone, so okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Has someone sent it?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I mentioned that we are supposed to combine all those 15 CSV files into one file. Okay. Imagine this as you are using an Excel sheet. Okay. You want to combine those specific sheets to one workbook. That's what you want to do. Okay. You can do that with Pandas. As I mentioned, you can do that with Pandas. So right now we've started manipulating the data. The first thing we are doing is we are combining those 15 CSV files into one particular file. That is our first task, okay? Now, after we've done that, okay, I'm going through everything we are doing. I'm just summarizing. Then we take it one after the other. After we are done doing that, we are going to what? Get some specific industries from those 15 industries. Now, why are we combining them instead of working on them one after the other? Within the industries, okay, that's why I told you to look at the 15 files. Within each of the CSV files, okay, from the 2 nicks to the 3 nicks, okay, within it, there are some industries within them. The 3 nicks, there are some industries within them. And the 4 nicks, there are some industries within them, okay. Now, aside that, each industry number has the same number of years, which is from the 1997 to the 2000. Do you get what I'm saying? You will have 2 nicks number having data from 1997 to 2000, 3 nicks number having data from 1997 to 2000, 4 nicks number having um, data from 1997 to 2000. Okay, so after combining all those 15 CSV files, you would have those industries given or ordered in their next number with also their years recurring. Okay, so how can we do that? How can we do that? Now, how can we do that? So to be able to do that, we need to get the industry names using their next numbers. I'm just trying to stop sharing the screen and share the other one. Please, someone just pause the screen sharing. Um, okay. Please, can you see the screen now?
And see.
Okay. So All right.
Please, so do we have to download the SVS files?
No, no. I just wanted you
Okay,
to have a look at them. Okay.
okay, okay, sir.
Don't download anything. I just wanted you to have a look at them in general. Okay.
All right, sir. All right, sir.
So please, what about the first link also?
The first link, as in
The one with pandas.
I shared a link to the the GitHub page containing the files. Okay, just for you. But then what I'm working on right now, I'm sharing my screen for you to have a look at it. Do you get it?
I get it, but I mean the Anaconda one.
Yes, Franklin, I shared a setup for Anaconda with them for them to download their software. Maybe subsequently they can download it and then do their practicing or exercise with it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Were they able to download it? Were you able to download? If you're able to download, you can just copy the files within the repository onto your local machine. Then after that, you start working on it. Do you get what I'm saying? Other than that, you can just follow as I'm doing it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I've tried to make the whole thing not look like it has already been done, because if I've already done it, in fact, but if I make it look like it has already been done, getting the understanding is a bit difficult. So I want us to take it one after the other. Okay. So you can see that if you can see my screen, it's just like an empty Jupyter notebook that we are starting the data manipulation from scratch. But then I took my time to do it, but I would have to do it again just for the understanding. So kindly follow through, okay? Can you see the Jupyter notebook opened?
All right, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, I can see it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sir, please, but can you walk us through how to copy from the repository?
To your Jupyter notebook. Sorry, to your local
Yes,
machine.
please. Can you walk us through how to copy?
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
please.
All right, okay. Let me do that. Let me do that. Then to do that, I would have to uh, just sway a bit away from what you're supposed to do today. But then it's very important you asked. So I'm going to do that. The GitHub, do you really, okay, let me take it as if no one understands it. The GitHub itself works on a knowledge called Git. Okay, now what you use Git for is it helps you to be able to work on your code in sections. The part of the code you're able to work on, then you push it to that repository. Now I keep on using the word repository. See a repository as a cache, or a place that you can store something. Okay, so you work on the file in sections, then you push it there. You work on it in sections, then you push it there. Now after you have finished pushing it there, anyone anywhere can access it. So if you want to access it, you would have to use a set of git codes to access them. You get it? But if you've not done that, you would have to what? Download the repository manually from the GitHub page. Now to be able to do that, I have to, okay, can you see can you see this tab that I'm opening?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So I'm opening my GitHub page. All right. Now when it opens, it will lead me to the main GitHub page. Now, and I'll go to the folder that I shared, the specific link I shared with you people. Okay. So kindly hold on. This is my GitHub page. Over here in the GitHub page, you would have to go to repositories. Okay. When you want to download any repository to your local Jupyter notebook, this is how to go about it. You go to the GitHub page this way, right? Now, when you get here, can you see?
Yes, please.
So when you get here, you go to the specific repository you want to get on your local Jupyter notebook. Now, this is the specific repository I shared with you, the first one repository. Okay, so when you open the first one repository, the first one repository contains what we worked on, which is the intro to data science. We worked on the diabetes data set. That's why I've named this diabetes. Then this one is what we are working on today, which is the data manipulation with pandas. This is the specific folder I shared with you. Okay, now to be able to download this specific folder, okay, you move to this section, add file. Sorry. Go to file rather. No. Hold on. Okay, over here within the main repository, you go to code. Okay, all right. Then you download the zip. Okay. Now this is the one. This is the finished one. The time series analysis. This is the finished manipulation. Okay. But then I said I'm not going to show you are not supposed to open that one. You are supposed to follow the one we are working on right now for you to be able to understand. When we are done, you can go to this particular one, which contains everything. Okay, that's why I've moved it outside the folder. So to be able to get it, I said you click on this code, okay, then you download the zip. Do you understand? Hello, please, you understand? Download.
Yes, please.
Download it for you. Hello, please, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello, yeah. Yes, please.
I think I'm supposed to share my whole screen so that I don't know where. Hold on, I'm trying to share the whole screen. I can't seem to find it. Oh, it's normally here too. Okay. I can't seem to find it, but I wanted to share my whole screen so that I do it after download it, then I wanted to download it and show you how to go about it from scratch, but I can't really seem to find it. Okay, so I would have to share the screen one after the other. So as you have it here, okay, as you have it here, download it. When you click on code, then you download it. Okay, when you download the zip, it will be downloaded for you to your local machine. Okay, then you open a Jupyter notebook from that section within the folder so that you can access the files. Okay, so after you are done downloading, wherever the files went to, you should make sure that you have Python already installed on the machine. Then you open a Python file from that specific folder. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, please, if you want to do this, you should have the link that Thomas sent. You should have it already. Then you should have installed the Anaconda already before you try doing this. Okay, so let me download it. When I download it, it's over here within this first man downloads. Then within the first man downloads, you open the first man downloads, then you start a Jupyter notebook from that section. That's how you go about it. So if you finish downloading it, I can't share my whole screen. I don't really know why, but if I were able to share my whole screen, that would be much easier. I'm trying to share the whole screen, but okay. If I'm not able to share, let me just, I'll share the other folder with you. Now, from here, this is where I downloaded the files to. Okay, can you see?
We can
Yes,
see.
please.
Yeah, so when you download it to that specific folder you want it to be in, right now is a zip file, so you have to extract it. Okay, so after extracting, then you create a Jupyter notebook using this specific folder as your directory. That's what I'm trying to say. So over here, you extract what? Files. Okay, if you extract files, it will extract the files and keep them in this folder for you. Okay, it's trying to work on it. After it has finished extracting it, you see all the files here within this folder. Then from here, you create a Jupyter notebook. So I'm keeping it, I'm extracting the files here to this download folder. So it's in the background working. You would see it very soon. After extracting, you would have the folder extracted this way. Do you get it? Then you open, can you see?
Yes, please.
Yeah, you open the folder, you open that specific folder, then from that specific folder, move to the data manipulation with pandas. Open the data manipulation with pandas folder. now that you are here, okay, then you create a Jupyter notebook from this end. How do you create the Jupyter notebook? Okay, to be able to create a Jupyter notebook, you would have to, as I said, you would have to have Pandas already installed. Without Pandas installed, sorry, the Anaconda installed. Without the Anaconda installed, you can't do what you want to do. Okay, so I'm trying to share my whole screen. I don't really know why I can't share the whole screen. Huh. I don't really know why. But to be able to do it, you would have to open Anaconda. And Anaconda opens like the command prompt. Okay, you open the Anaconda prompt, it comes like the command prompt, just like the normal command prompt. Okay, so I've opened Anaconda, and now I'm going to just share that Anaconda folder and help you see how you go about it. Okay, the first thing you're supposed to do right now is to download the zip file. When you have the zip file on your local repository, you open to this folder. When you have the thing open to this data manipulation with pandas folder, then where I am right now is the directory name. Okay, you click on it. Initially it's like this. So you click in this tab, it will change to blue. All right, then you just you copy it. Okay, you copy that specific directory. So either Control C or you right click and you copy this way. Okay. Now after copying, you need the directory. So right now you've copied it. Before you open the Anaconda prompt I mentioned. Okay. Now when you open the Anaconda prompt, this how it will look like. Can you see the Anaconda prompt? I've switched to the Anaconda prompt. Can you see the Anaconda prompt?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I can see.
So within the Anaconda prompt, you change your directory to that specific directory. How do you do that? You just type cd, okay, with a space, cd with a space, then you paste the directory. So you just do Control V, or you right click, then you paste. Okay, so you just do Control V. It will paste the directory you copied from that section. Then you just press enter. Okay, when you press enter, it will take you to that specific directory. Now you are in that specific directory. All you have to do is you have to start or initiate the Jupyter notebook. How do you initiate it? You just type Jupyter, okay, space, then notebook. All right. Okay, so Jupyter, then notebook. As simple as that. Then you just press enter. It will open the Jupyter notebook for you with this information showing. Do you get what I'm saying? It will open the same Jupyter notebook for you within your browser. Where it will open it is within your browser. So when it opens it, it will look this way. Can you see now? It will open it within the Jupyter notebook within your browser this way. Can you see now?
Yes, please.
You see that it just opened it. And when it opens and it has all the files that you had within that folder open within the Jupyter notebook for you, just like this. So now that you have this, okay, you can now start with your work. Now within the folder, I've already created this Jupyter file over here. So you just click on it. Immediately you click on it, it will lead you to that Jupyter file opened with the set of instructions or set of codes within it. As I said, I've already done the work. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to let us go through one after the other so that we really understand the set of codes within it. I feel if we do it that way, we understand it more than me showing you the whole work. Okay, so when you open it, you realize that it looks this way. Do you understand? That's it. Now you can see there is nothing in it.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I said
Yes.
the whole purpose for this meeting is for us to be able to manipulate the data. Okay, now to manipulate the data, we've been given 15 CSV files. Our first task is to what? Combine all those 15 CSV files. Okay, to be able to start the work, you need the libraries. Okay, you will need a specific libraries. Now the libraries we are working with, the main one we are working with is Pandas. Okay, so
Hello.
yeah,
Yeah,
Thomas.
Franklin, can you take like a minute to explain the libraries? What does it mean in Python? When you talk about libraries, what are they?
All right. So imagine you want to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. All right. You don't want to be always coming back and doing 2 plus 2. Then you explain to the machine that 2 plus 2 means add them. 3 minus 2 means subtract them. 4 times 2 means multiply them. You don't want to be always doing that. You want it to be automated for you always. Okay. So what a library is a combination of a specific set of models. Okay. Now, what the model means is the models are a set of functions that have been combined into one specific thing. So within that specific model, let's say you have a calculator model, okay? The calculator model has 4 different functions within it. One of the functions is addition, one of the functions is subtraction, one of the functions is multiplication, and one of the functions is division. Do you get it? So that is a model. A model contains a set of functions. So if you have a calculator, all right, and you have another model, which is a model that helps you to, let's say, predict. Instead of just calculating to see the answer, that one, it predicts. So within that model, you have prediction functions within it. So if you have different models that have been combined, then that becomes a what? A package or a library. That's what you refer to as a library. So the Pandas library contains all the manipulation functions within it. So you don't have to start calling the function or start creating the function. You just call the library and you use the functions within it. That is the meaning of a library. Okay.
Okay,
So
great. Yeah.
so the data manipulation library is called the Pandas. All right. That's what we refer to as the Pandas. Okay. All right. So I would continue. We have to import the libraries, okay? Um, I just shared my feed. Can you see? I just shared my feed. Can you see, please?
Yes, we can see your Jupyter notebook.
Okay. All right. I mean the camera feed though, not
Okay, yeah,
the
we
screen.
can see your face.
All right. So I will continue now. So we have to import the libraries. All right. Now importing the libraries, I said we import pandas. All right. Now you import pandas. Okay. You can just import pandas. All right. You can just import pandas. But what people normally do is this: they import the pandas as an abbreviation. So instead of just importing pandas, they import pandas as, let's say, PD. Okay. Now the difference between the normal Python and Anaconda package is this: when you just download Python, the Python is just the basic application that you use. It doesn't have any library installed on it already. Okay, any library you want to use, you would have to install it. You get it? So Pandas is a library that you can use on Python, right? But when you download the normal Python doesn't contain Pandas. It doesn't contain all the other libraries. But when you download Anaconda, Anaconda contains all the libraries installed on it already. So you don't have to install it before you use it. You get what I'm saying? What it means is because I've already installed Anaconda, I don't have to install Pandas. Pandas is already on Anaconda. So all I have to do is I just have to call upon Pandas and use it. And to be able to call upon it, you use the command import, then you mention the name of the library. Okay, so this is import pandas. What import pandas will do is it will import the package pandas for me. Okay, now after it is done, you would realize that this star that is over here will change to a number. I don't know why it's taking so much time to process, but it should have been done by now. Now, as I said, some people just import the package or the library with the full name, which is import pandas. Okay. Others too, what they do is they import it and they abbreviate it. So instead of just importing pandas, they will just say import pandas as, let's say, PD. Okay, now that has been the norm everywhere. All right, so either you import the whole thing or you import it as an abbreviation. Bear in mind, if you import it as an abbreviation, anytime you want to use pandas, you just don't say pandas. You say import panda. You said import pandas as PD. So if you want to use pandas, you use PD instead of pandas. Okay, you understand that very, very soon. Okay, it's taking so much time to process. I don't really know why. It's taking so much time to process. It should have been done by now. Please hold on. Please, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, we can. I can at least.
Hello. Yeah, we can hear you, please.
The internet connectivity is working, but I don't know why this is taking so much time. Let me close it and open it again. It's supposed to work. Okay, so it's working now. So you import pandas as PD, all right? Now, the pandas that you've imported right now is no more pandas. It's being recognized as PD. So anytime you want to use it, you don't say pandas, you say PD, all right? Now, I told you that a library is a set of models that have been combined as one package. Now, after you have the model, within the model, they have functions within it. Okay, so Pandas has the ability to read a CSV file. Okay, it has the ability to read a CSV file. It has the ability to manipulate the data for you, and it does that using a set of functions. So to be able to do what you are doing, you need Pandas, and that's why you need to what? Call the library or import the library, and you do that using import Pandas as PD. Now, I mentioned during our introduction to data science that Pandas always comes with NumPy. Why do you use NumPy? Because it's NumPy that is going to help you do a lot of arithmetic operations on the columns within the data frame. Okay, so normally when you import Pandas, just import NumPy to in addition. Okay, as we move on, if there is any library that we have to import, I'll come back to import it. Okay, now as we did for Pandas, you would also import NumPy as what? NP. Do you get it? That's what I mean by you importing the libraries. Okay, so right now we have two libraries imported. Okay, now I mentioned that we are supposed to combine the CSV files. Okay, now I want to go back to this specific folder for us to see. I don't really know why, again, though I can't share my whole screen. It's making it very tiring. Okay, it's tedious, but still do it. This folder is what our repository looks like on GitHub. Okay, now there are 15 CSV files within this folder. Can you see? There are 15 CSV files within this folder. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah. Now we are within this specific repository, not the CSV file repository. Do you understand? So I just want to import one of the CSV files for you to have a look at before I combine all of them. Do you understand? Now you realize that we have 0610 here. Okay, this 0610 contains 4 next numbers. This 0610 contains 2 next numbers. So I'm just copying the name of the file, okay, and going back to the Jupyter notebook. Now I'm back into the Jupyter notebook, okay. I want to read one of the CSV files for you to see the look of it before we combine everything, okay. Now, to do that, how do you do that? If you already imported the package or the library pandas, you want to call the specific function that can help you read. Okay, and I told you you imported pandas as PD. So to be able to be able to manipulate, you need to use the specific function that does that reading for you. So you give it a variable name. In Python, you would have to give it a variable name. All right. Whatever thing you do, you have to give it a variable name. So what we are doing, it should be linked to the specific function you want to perform. Which task do we want to perform now? We want to import the data, right? So I would say the data is equal to, right? Then instead of using pandas, right now I've abbreviated it as PD. So I would say PD, okay? I would say PD dot read underscore CSV.
No,
That's the yeah.
please, I got lost along the way. Which data are we importing?
I'm saying we are supposed to import all those 15 CSV files as one particular file. You get it? But before I do that, I just want to read one of them for you to see the look of it before I combine everything. Do you get it?
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm saying to be able to read it, you need to use the specific function within pandas. And that specific function is the read underscore CSV. Do you understand? So you call the name of the package. You said pandas should be abbreviated as PD. So pd.read underscore CSV is what you use to do that. So when it comes, then you open a bracket. Sorry, it's actually a parenthesis. So you open a parenthesis or a bracket, then you give that specific function, which is read underscore CSV, the specific directory. You get it? So right now you are within the specific directory, so it knows that you are within it. What you have to do is right now is to lead it to that specific folder. So I'm going to the folder for you to see how you would give it the name. Now look at it. Within this folder, okay, this is the repository that you are supposed, this is the repository that your Jupyter notebook recognizes it. The specific file you are trying to import is what? Within what? This CSV file folder. Okay, so you need to tell us that it's within the CSV file folder. And how do you do that? You have to tell it that the file you are looking for is within the CSV folder. You give it a dot, right, with a backslash. Okay. Dot with a backslash. Sorry. Oh, where's my backslash? Okay, so you give it a dot with a backslash. Okay, then you give it the name of the folder. So we have CSV files. That's the name of the folder, CSV files. Okay, before you tell it the specific file you want it to import. Okay, so going back to this folder again, we want to import this second one I mentioned. Okay, so you have to give it that specific name. So you copy the name as it is. You copy the name like this. Okay, now it's a CSV file, so you have to add the extension. So right now I've copied it. I'm going back to the Jupyter notebook. Now that I'm here, okay, I will just paste it. So this is the specific CSV file I want to what? Import. Then I have to add the extension. The extension is what? Dot CSV. Do you get it? So for it to be able to work, you have to put the whole thing in inverted commas. All right. Sorry. For it to be able to work, you have to put the whole thing in inverted commas this way. Do you understand? So when you run it, you realize that it will import that specific CSV file for you. That's how it works. Okay, now it has imported it because this specific line has given us a number back. Okay, so for you to be able to see it, you just type the name that you assign to the function, the whole procedure. You've called it data. So to be able to see the data frame, you make sure that you give it data again for you to print out the data frame. Do you understand? Now, this is one specific file, one of the CSV file. This is it, okay? And it's that CSV file that has the name was 2 NAICS 06 to 010. Now you can see within the year column that it starts from 2006 and ends on 2010. How can you really see it? Okay, for you to be able to really see it, you would have to write or manipulate it to see it. Okay, for you to be able to see it, you write this specific code. Now the codes are all within the final file, but this one we are taking our time to go through to understand. Okay, so just sit back, relax, and just watch. At the end, you really understand everything. I mentioned the year within this specific CSV file is from 2006 to 2010. How can you really confirm? You would have to what? Move to that specific folder. So the name of the data frame we are working right now is data. That's the name we give to it. Okay, you can give it anything. We can change it to first month. Okay, you can change it to first month. Okay, now when you call first month, it recognizes first month now. It has overridden the old data. So right now when you call data, it will give you an error. Okay, it is called first month now. So it recognizes first month now, not data. Do you understand? So if you call first month over here too, it will give you the data frame back. Do you understand? Now watch. If I'm supposed to clear the output, and just clear the memory of the Jupyter notebook. If I come back and if I assign first month to it and I call data, it will tell me it doesn't know anything called data, right? Because it's Python. Python works with the last assignation. So the last code or the last name you gave to it is the one that is going to recognize. Okay, all right. So it's supposed to clear the output, then I will start running it again. Okay, so we import pandas as PD, import numbers as NP. Then after importing, it would go on to what? Import first month for me. Now, first month is what it recognizes now. If I type data now, it will tell me it doesn't know anything called data because I've cleared the data out of its memory. All right, okay. So I said for us to be able to know the specific number of what? Years within the year column, we have to what? Move there and fetch it out ourselves. Okay, to be able to fetch it, you type the name of the data frame, first month, then you do dots, then you type the specific column you want to access. All right, now the specific column you want to access is what? S year. So you type S year, right? Then you type what? Dots, then you give it what? The specific function you want it to perform. So first the name of the data frame dot the name of the column. Then if you want to know the distinct or the unique values there, you add value what? Count. It will give you the names of the distinct or the unique values. Then you also give you the count. Okay, so that's what this specific code does for you. So as you can see, it moves from 2006 to 2010 with the number of what? Rows that has been assigned to them. Okay, so 2006 has 240 rows, 2007 has 240 rows, 2008, 2009, 2010. So now I'm sure you agree that it's from 2006 to 2010. Now I told you two NAICS numbers. What the two NAICS numbers means is this specific column, which is a NAICS, which contains the names of the industry with the assigned names beside them. You realize that the NAICS contains only two unique identifiers. Okay, so watch, within the bracket you have numbers, and the numbers are always two, always two, always two. 48 to 49, two numbers, 22, 41. Okay, so to be able to do that, you realize that if I change this 2 to 4, okay, if I change this 2 to 4, it will give me now a NAICS number that's what? 4 instead of what? 2. Okay, so that's what the NAICS numbers are about. I just wanted to do this one for you to have a fair idea. Okay, now that you have a fair idea of what one specific CSV file looks like, I'm just going to go back, then combine all those 15 CSV files. For you to be able to do that, you have to write a small set of codes to combine it for you. All right. So how do you do that? Now going back to this folder, okay, what you are trying to do is you have 15 different CSV files. You don't want to import them one after the other. You want to import everything as one data frame. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So how do you do that? Okay. To be able to do that, you would have to write this specific code. Okay. Can you see the Jupyter notebook now?
No, we can only see the folder, the CSV files folder, but we can't see the Jupyter notebook.
Okay. All right. So
Okay,
I'll
we can
clear
see
this.
it now.
Okay, I'll clear this. This is the code. I've already done it, so I just pasted the code. Okay. So the code is this. You give it the name of the repository first. Okay. Now I've changed the repository, so that means I have to change what is over here too. I have to go back to this the specific CSV file I was working with, or the specific folder I was working with. And to do that, you just move to this section. Okay. We were working with this particular one. This is the directory we're working with. Okay. So this directory that we are working in, we are supposed to what? Copy it. Okay. We are supposed to copy this. Okay. Now I've copied it now, right? Then I come back to the code. I come back to it and I paste it here. Okay. Other than that, I'll get an error because I started the whole thing again. Now there's a specific directory. Okay. There is one particular problem. The particular problem is that it's within the CSV file. Okay, sorry, the CSV folder. So we are supposed to add CSV underscore files. Other than that, we get an error. So this is a specific directory that contains the whole 15 CSV files. Then the globe function, what the globe function does is it combines everything within that folder for you. Okay, then the set of functions, the set of code that follow, combine the whole 15 CSV files into one particular data frame. Okay, so to be able to do that specific thing, this is the set of codes you use to do that. Combine all those 15 CSV files into one particular file. Okay, so when you run it, let's change the name to first month. Okay, first month. Now before we run it, I just want us to have an idea of something. Each CSV file, as we saw up here, have a look at something. Each CSV file we saw up here, okay, each CSV file we saw up here contains 4 columns, which is S year, which contains the years, S month, which contains the month, NAICS, which contains the what? The NAICS numbers assigned to the industries, and also it has employment. The employment is the number of employment for each of the industries, okay? What I want you to pay attention to right now is this particular column, the S month. Okay, now when you write the code first month, okay, dot smth, which is the name of that particular column, dot unique, the value count. Okay, when you do that, you realize that it contains what? These unique numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now with the mention of S month and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, it should sync. What should sync? That the numbers are referring to the months within a year. Okay, that means each CSV file contains data from January to December for each specific year. So that means if you look at 2006, there are 2006 data for each month. 2006 for 1, 2006 for 2. Now let me run this for you to see it very well. If you run first month dot head, okay, then you give it, let's say, tell it to print out 30 outcomes. It will give you this. Okay, this is what you have here. Now look at it now. You have 2006 here with 1, 2006, 2006. The reason why you are getting 2006 with a lot of ones, okay, is because each specific industry has a specific data for each month and for each year. So the industry with the next number 1111 has data for 2006 January. The next number 1112 has specific data for 1 January 2006. Do you get what I'm saying? So that the data is the data contains data for each industry, for each month, and for each year. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you have fisheries, fisheries has data for 2006, from 2006 January to 2006 December. If you take mining, mining 2006 January to 2006 December. You get it? So what it means is this, that if I'm supposed to get each specific industry, I want us to do a little math right now. If I'm supposed to take each specific industry out, how many number of rows am I supposed to get? Just think about it. If you have data from 1997, okay, to 2000 and what? Right now we don't know the total number of years. We'll get to see it very soon. But let's just take this specific data. Let's just take this specific data. If you have data for this specific year from 2006 to 2010, how many number of years are we talking about? We saw it down here. We saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. We have 5 years. Okay. So if you have 5 years and you have each specific year having one specific month data from January to December, that means for 2006, if let's say I'm supposed to take this specific industry, okay, let me change this to 2 so that you realize that, okay, this is what we have. Now I've changed it from the 4 next number to 2 next number. Let's take this specific industry. Let's take this specific industry, accommodation and services. This first one, okay. I just want you to think about it from accommodation and food services. If you are moving from 2006 to 2010, and for each year you have 12 months within it, how many number of rows are we supposed to get in total? Just think about it. Now, if you're having a problem with it, this is how you can just go about finding out. Okay, how do you do that? You would have to what? Access that specific data. Okay, now I'm going to clear this. Okay, now this is the whole set of data, right? Now this is the whole set of data. I want to find out. I just want you to have an idea of what we are working on. I want the first month data frame, of which the year is what? 2006, and the next number is what? Accommodation and food services. Do you get it? I want to find out that data. All right, so I'll do firstman.log. All right, where firstman.log, where, hold on, oh my keyboard, hold on. Okay, all right, so okay, so you do firstman.log, okay, where the firstman data itself, are you watching? Where the firstman data, okay, the specific column you are referring to right now is what? The year, okay. So firstman.log, where the firstman year, so you put it in another, sorry, you put it in another square bracket. Oh, I don't know where. Hold on. Okay, firstman.log, where the year, all right. Now you put the year in, you put it in inverted commas like this, okay. So firstman.year, firstman.log, where the firstman column, which is year, all right, is equal to 2006, okay. Firstman.year, where the firstman.year, this is just to help us understand one data frame. After that, I'll combine the whole data frame, then you start working on it. So firstman.year, where the specific firstman column is what? 2006, okay. Then I also want to find out where and where the same first man column is what? Where the first man column called next, all right, is equal to this specific thing, which is what? Accommodation and year. Okay, so just follow through. I'm supposed to put it in like this. So what this thing will help you do is it will try to help you find out the specific first man column or the specific set of first man rows where the year is 2006 and also the accommodation is what? The next column is what? Accommodation and services. Do you get it? So that's what this code helps you to do. It helps you to get that specific column with accommodation and services and 2006 being the year. Okay, now I'm getting nothing. I don't really know where I'm getting nothing as the output. I would have to confirm to see whether this thing is just follow through. I would start the main thing, then you would really understand everything. Now, okay, it's integers, so supposed to work. Okay, I put there. This is supposed to be integer. Okay, so there's it. All right, so what I've done here is I've been able to extract from the data frame, the whole data frame, just the number of what? The number of rows which contain 2006 as the year alone, then also contains accommodation and food services as the what? The next column. Under the next column, I've only extracted only the industries 2006 containing accommodation and food services. So I did this for you to understand that each industry, okay, has data for January through December for each specific year. Do you get it? So if you are supposed to combine all those 15 CSV files together, what you are combining is you combine accommodation and services from 1997 to 2020. All right. From 1997 to 2020, 1997 has data from January to December. 1998 has data from January to December. 1999 has data from January to December. And each specific industry has the same thing. So if you have industry A has data from 1997 to 2020, and each year also has data from January to December. That means each industry will have 1997. If you want to know the number of years, watch. The number of years would be, if let's say 2020, okay, you let me combine it, then we'll do it, okay? So I just did this for you to have an idea of one specific data frame. So I'm going to delete all this, all right? I'm going to delete all this, okay? So I told you this is the code you use to combine the 15 CSV files. So if I combine this, okay, the reason why we are getting this error is because we've not imported this library, which is the glob, all right? So we are supposed to import the glob, okay? So if we import glob and we run this, it will combine all those 15 CSV files as one. Now, when you combine those 15 CSV files, I would start talking about the whole combined 15 CSV files much into detail. Now, this is the whole 15 CSV files that have been combined. Okay. Now you
Franklin,
can. Yeah.
let me come in here. So what does the pandas helps you to manipulate data, the number helps you to do different calculations or operations. So what does the glob also do in case
Okay.
of what we are doing here?
What glob does is to combine items within a specific folder as one specific thing. Do you get it?
Okay.
Yeah. That's what the glob is. So in this line of code, you can see glob.glob file path plus slash then this asterisk CSV. When you bring asterisk.csv, saying that anything before .csv. So Glob will combine anything before .csv. So
Okay.
if I go
Okay.
to this folder, if I go back to this folder and I open this CSV file, you realize that each CSV is a comma separated file. Okay, so because it's a comma separated file, anything before it would be combined as one CSV file. So it combines all these 15 CSV files. That's what the
Okay.
blob does, please.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
So coming back here, the blob combines the whole 15 CSV files as one data frame for us. So now if I try to find out the specific number of years within this one, you realize that it should move from 1997 to 2000. Okay, sorry, 2020, if that's the total number of years. Okay, so let's do the code again. I've already mentioned it, I'm mentioning it again. So we have firstman dot SEA, all right, dot value count. All right, now these are the years. Can you see now? We have the lowest being what? 1997 with an eyeball. You can see the lowest is 1997. Then looking through, you can see the highest is what? It's not 2020, it's 2019. Can you see? So the combination of the 15 CSV files is a set of data from 1997 to 2019 for each specific industry. And each specific industry has data for January to December for each year. And that's why the total number of rows right now is what? 119,184 rows. Do you get it? Then the number of columns are 4, as I mentioned. We have the year, we have the month, we have the industry, then we have the number of employment. Now, what I want us to know right now is for each specific industry, how many number of rows are we supposed to have if we are calculating from 1997 to 2019? Because right now we can see that the years ends as 2019. How many number of what rows are we supposed to get? How do you do that? To be able to do that, you just do a little calculation. If you have 2019 as the highest number of year, you get it? And you have the lowest number of year as what? 1997. This is the data manipulation. We started it. So kindly pay attention. 2019 minus 1997. Now the boundaries are involved in mathematics. If the boundaries are involved, if I tell me something between, that's when you do this calculation. But if I'm telling you move from 1997 to 2019, when you're done subtracting, you're supposed to add 1. Do you get it? And when you do that, you see that the number of years from 1997 through 2019 is 23. You can count and see. It's 23. So if that is the number of years from 1997 to 2019, and each specific year has 12 months, then 23 times 12 would give me what? 276. That means ideally, if I have data for each industry from January to December for each year from 1997 to 2019, then I'm supposed to get 276 rows for each industry. So the code that we did to get the accommodation, all right, I'm going to do it again. Watch. I'm extracting industries from 1997 to 2019, where the next column is what? Accommodations and what? Food services. And per the calculation we did, ideally we are supposed to get what? 276 rows. So let's confirm it. So you do firstman.log, all right? You are just confirming firstman.log, all right? Where the firstman data set column, which is next, all right, is equal to what? Accommodation and food services. Do you understand? So if you run this, you realize that you have a new data frame. The data frame contains only accommodation and what? Food services. Accommodation and food services throughout. It's only accommodation and food services. Now, accommodation and food services from 1997 to 2019 would give you 276 rows, and that's what we have here. Do you understand? That means the calculation we did up here is right. Please, do you understand? Is someone confused? Please, any question concerning what I just did? Hello?
Hello, sir. No, please.
Okay, all right. So now that we have an understanding of the data, I'm going to delete all this. Okay. Now we know that this whole combined 15 data frames contains data from 1997 to 2000. All right, so I'm going to delete this too now. Okay, you let me leave it. Now, after you've imported your CSV file, all right, or your data frame, then you have to start accessing the data before you do any manipulation. How do you access the data? Okay, this is the code you use to do it. You do first man. The first man is the name of the data frame. So you do the firstman dot what? Info, all right? So firstman.info gives you the whole summary, which is, it tells you the column names. We have S year, we have S month, we have NICS, all right? Then we have what? Employment. Now we can see the total number of rows too. We have 119,184 rows. Then the number of columns are 4, total 4 columns, all right? Now in this specific section that you see here is what tells you null values. Now null values are values or errors within your data. The errors can be as a result of a number of things. It's either they couldn't record any data there, okay, or they recorded data, but then that data is not in the right form. For example, if the column is supposed to contain years, like this, all right, like years something 1999, and you find out that instead of them writing 2000, they wrote 2000 in words. You get it? That is a null value, and you have to correct it. Do you understand? Or a null value can be as a result of this. Let's say you are supposed to have data within a specific column. Let's say the age of a person, or the specific column contains ages. Now you see 23, you see 25, 24, 26, and to your surprise, you see -5. Come on, what is -5 doing in such a column? So that is a null value. Though there is a value there, it doesn't make sense, so it's a null value. Then a null value can be the type where there is nothing within the row itself, okay? So when there is nothing there, it's empty. It can be as a result of the data being scrambled as you were trying to import it, or it can be as a result of an error in data collection. So within this specific code, you see the number of null values. Now over here, you can see 119184 non-null values. That means if there are no non-null values, are you listening? If there are non-null values, then it means the 119,184 is equal to the non-null values, and there are no null values. I don't know whether you understand what I'm trying to say, but then I'm saying since this number here is the same as the number here, the data frame doesn't contain any null values. That's what it means. So we are fortunate enough not to have any null values, because if there were null values, we would have to process them before we continue. So since we don't have any null values, and this data.info is helping us see it, then we can go on to start our task. What is our task? Our task today is very simple. Within the 15 CSV files you've combined, I want you to extract a specific industry for me. Now, for you to be able to extract the specific industry, you would have to know its NAICS number. That's why I told you to open the 2 Excel files. One was the data output template, and one was the LMO detailed industry. So I'm going to open the LMO detailed industry. The LMO detailed industry is the Excel file that contains that information that we need. It contains the industry name with the next number. Do you understand? So I'm sharing that particular folder for you to see. Okay. Can you see it now? Can you see it now? Can you see it
Yeah.
now?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So now that you
Yeah.
have this, you have an idea of the specific industries you want. Okay. So looking at this very well, you can see that for you to be able to get for you to be able to obtain the industry called farms, okay, you have to combine these two next numbers. You have to combine the next numbers 111 and 112 before you can get the farms industry. Do you get it? For you to be able to get construction, you would have to combine, you would have to search for the next number 23. Do you get it? For you to be able to get for you to be able to obtain the industry food, beverage, and tobacco manufacturing, you have to combine the next number 311 and 312. For you to be able to obtain the industry transportation equipment, manufacturing, and in parentheses excluding shipbuilding, then you have to combine 366, 362, 363, 364, 365, and 369. Okay, so our purpose or our sole aim today is just to do two of the tasks. Okay, we are going to get this industry. Hold on. We are going to get one of the three next industries, which is we are getting broadcasting, data processing, and what information. So to be able to get broadcasting, data processing, and information, we have to take out the next numbers 515. We have to be able to extract the next numbers 515, 518, and 519. Okay, so our first task right now in the data manipulation process right now is to extract this specific column. I said we are just doing two. We are extracting this industry, which is what 515, 518, and 519 to one specific industry, which is what broadcasting, data processing, and information. Okay, that's the first task. The second task is we would extract this specific column, sorry, this specific industry, which is architectural, engineering, and related services. And the next number is 5413. Okay, so now let's go to our first task. Our first task is to get this specific industry, broadcasting, data processing, and information. And you have to do that, extracting these specific next numbers. Now bear in mind, okay, that the next number is a name or is an identifier of a specific industry. I repeat, the next number is an identifier of a specific industry. So you see 515 there nicely, but then 515 is not just 515. 515 is a specific industry's number. So if you have 515, that means 515 can be, let's say, tobacco or anything, but then it's the name of an industry. That's what I want you to understand. So let me go back to the data frame right now. All right. Let me go back to the data frame we are working on, the Jupyter notebook we are working on. Then we'll start it. Our first task is to get broadcasting and data processing. And to do that, we have to extract 515, 518, and 519. Okay. So to be able to extract that, we'll have to write a code that helps us do that. So I said to be able to do that, you assign a variable. For everything you do, you assign a variable. So to be able to extract that, let's call that industry, we said broadcasting, right? Let's call it broadcasting. Okay. So broadcasting is equal, please can you see the Jupyter notebook?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can.
Please call me hotspot, okay? Everybody calls me hotspot. Call me hotspot. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You can call me hotspot. Feel free to call me hotspot. No need for the say. All right.
Will you share
Yeah.
your hotspot with us?
Come again.
I'm asking if you share your hotspot with us so that we can save our own bundle.
I'm giving you the hotspot already. That's what I'm sharing right now. I'm giving it to you already.
Knowledge hotspot.
Yeah, you bow. So broadcasting, we want to extract the broadcasting industry. Okay. Now let me change this broadcasting to another thing. Let's just call it let's say AB. Okay, AB. Now I want the specific column that contains that. All right. So to do that, I would have to do first man. All right. Then dot log. Okay. First man dot log, or you can choose avoid the dot log and just make it first man. All right. First man in square brackets where the what first man column contains the number 518. Do you get it? So this is the code. I just want to be pasting so that we save time. Sorry. You can do first man dot log or first man. All right. So first man where the first man column next. All right, contains the string. So you do dot string dot contains. The string dot contains is what you want to use to get that specific column containing the string 518. Do you get it? Do you understand? So if you run this code will get you that specific column that contains only rows containing 518. That's what this code does. It gets you the column containing 518. Now, this is the data frame that contains only the rows having 518 as the rows in the next column. So you can see this. It looks cumbersome. Now, you take your time to access it. You check your rows. We said from 1997 to 2019. If you are multiplying that by 12, you get 276. So the 276 rows we have here is accurate. Okay, that's the first thing. Now we have to confirm whether the next column indeed contains what? 518 only. And how do we do that? The name of that data frame, we assign AB to it. So right now we are not using first man. The AB is the column that contains only 518. So you do AB dot what? The year, sorry, the next column dot next dot what? Value count. All right. So when you do value count, you get to see the specific what? The unique value. Oh, I've misspelled the next. It's IC, not CS. You get to see the specific what? Column or the specific unique value within the column. So as you can see, the unique value over here is what? Data processing, hosting and related services. And the next number is what? 518. And I mentioned that the 518 is a unique identifier, but it's representing an industry. And what is that industry? That industry is what? Data processing, hosting, and related services. Do you get it? So right now we've been able to extract 518. We'll do the same thing to extract 515 and 519. Do you get it? So I would copy this and I'll just change just a few codes. I'm supposed to change the unique identifier, the variable assignation. Let me make it CD, all right? And the same code runs through, but this time around, I'm supposed to change this to what? 519. You get it? And I'm supposed to call the data frame CD, not AB. So if I call this, right now I can see broadcasting except internet as the 515 industry name. Do you understand? So that means 515 is the industry called broadcasting except internet, right? Now I'm extracting the last industry, which is what? 519. So the same thing, I just have to change this EF, okay? Then I change this to what? 9, okay? Then I change this to what? EF, right? Then I call this data frame. Now this data frame is what? Other services. Okay, so what it means is for you to be able to get, watch this, we had other information services. Okay, we had broadcasting except internet, and we had what, data processing, hosting and related services. All right, now I'm going back to the LMA detailed industry, LMO detailed industry for you to have a look at something. Now over here, what it means is for us to be able to get this specific industry, which is broadcasting, data processing, and information, you would have to combine these three industries, which are broadcasting except internet, other information services, and the first one, which was blah blah blah, hosting and something. Do you understand? So the broadcasting, data processing, and information industry is a combination of what? These three industries: data processing, hosting and related services, broadcasting except internet, and what? Other information services. Do you understand? So how do you combine the whole thing to one data frame now? Pandas has another function that does that for you. What is the name of that function? It's called concat. You are concatenating the frames, the data frames, all right? So since the columns are the same throughout each data frame has 4 columns, we can just concatenate them. And what does concatenation means? It means you combine the whole 3 data frames as one. You get it? So for me to be able to get that, I have to give it a variable name. Right now, the main industry broadcasting, okay, I have to what, combine those 3 data frames. It's a combination of what? Those 3 data frames. And for me to be able to combine them, I have to use pandas.concat. So pandas.concat, then I combine those 3 data frames, okay, AB, comma, CD, comma, EF. So before you do anything, just access it. You have 276 rows in each of them. All right, you have 276 rows in each of the data frames. So before I combine it, I just want us to just think about it. If you have 276 and you have 3 now, what will be the answer? I'm supposed to get 828 in total. Okay, so I will delete this. After I finish combining this, the data frame I get is supposed to be what? It's supposed to have what? 828 rows, as we can see here. So it has combined data processing, other information, and what? Broadcasting without internet. Now to be able to see it, you do broadcasting dot the next, right? The next column, then you do value count again. The value count always helps you to see the unique values within a specific column. All right. So we have broadcasting except internet, we have data processing, then we have other information. Do you understand? Now that we have been able to do this, we've been able to achieve the task. Okay. Now it's good that you've been able to achieve this, but to make it more look neat, all right, to make it more nice, you need to what? Change every name there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Change every name within the column to, let's say, broadcasting. So instead of each of the columns having different, each of the rows having different unique values with under the next column, you can just combine them into one thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Instead of the column having broadcasting except internet, instead of the column having the data hosting, blah 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 blah, you can just combine everything there to one specific thing. And how do you do that? You just use the replace function of pandas. Okay, so you just do pandas.replace. Now this time around you are working with this broadcasting data frame, so you use the broadcasting data frame. All right, so you do broadcasting dot what? Replace. Okay, you replace this specific thing, which is what? Which is the column, the rows containing broadcasting except internet. You replace them with what? With one specific thing, which is what? Let's say broadcaster. Broadcaster. That's what this code helps you to do. It replaces the broadcasting or the different values within the specific column to one specific thing for you. So if I do this, you realize that instead of me now having the unique values as what this and this, I will just have watch. Instead of me having unique values as broadcasting except internet, data processing, hosting, and the other for services, you realize that the broadcasting except internet has been changed to broadcasting. Okay, and if I repeat the same thing for the rest of the columns, if I repeat the same thing for the rest of the columns, or if I repeat the same thing for the rest of the columns, you realize that everything there will be changed to let me come. I'm trying to copy this. So I'll copy this and paste it here. I'll copy this and paste it here. Okay. Can you see? So then I'll just replace it with what? I'll replace it with what? Broadcasted again. Okay. So if I do this, data processing. Oh no, I'm supposed to clean this. So if I do this and I run this again, you realize that the broadcasting.next, the second column too has been what? Oh, instead of me placing this there, I went to place the wrong one there. Okay, so I'm supposed to replace this one. Oh, come on. I'm supposed to replace this. So if I run this, you realize that the data processing and hosting too has been converted to a new thing for me, which is broadcasting. Okay, can you see please? Can you see I've changed the broadcasting except internet to broadcasting? I've changed the broadcasting, data processing and hosting to broadcasting, and then I'm now changing other services to the other one. Please, can you see?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So that's the purpose of the whole thing. The replace function. It helps you to what? To replace the specific or the unique columns within the next column into one specific thing, which is the broadcaster. Okay. So we've been able to achieve the first task, of which we were supposed to what? Extract 515, 518, and 519 to one specific industry, which is broadcasting. Okay. All right. So the next one is for us to what? Extract the column name, the column with the next number 6113, right? That's what I said, right? 6113. Oh no, I said 5413. Okay, 5413. All right. So we want to extract this specific industry. Okay. Now, when you go back to the Jupyter notebook and we try using the first code that we did, of which we use the strings. Okay. If we try using this code, right, for the 5413 that we're trying to extract, let's see what happens. 5413, and the industry name was architecture. Okay. If we do it, realize that we get nothing. Okay. So the first one I taught you was one way to get the data, right? The first one I taught you was one way to get the data. Another way to get a specific next number is to use another way of writing the same code. Okay. How do you write the same code? You do the same architecture, but this time around you wouldn't do string contains. Okay. You do architecture is equal to first man, all right, dot log, or you can just leave it. I said either first man or first man dot log, any of them. Where the first man column next, all right, What the first one column next contains the specific number what 5413. Do you understand? Now the reason why this one isn't working is because the next 5413 is a number, not a string. So if you do what you are trying to do, it wouldn't work. So you use this specific one, the second one, to do that specific thing for you. All right. So now when you do it, it will give you 5413. Do you understand? Now that we've been able to do this, we've performed the second task. Okay. Now it's left with the last task. The last task is for us to what combine this architecture and the first broadcasting industry that we extracted. Do you understand? That's what we are supposed to do right now. And we do that again using pd.concat. Okay. So to be able to do that, okay, now let's replace the 5413 with architecture. Let's replace the 5413 with architecture. Okay, so I'm copying this code which we used to replace. Okay, I want us to make it look presentable. So architecture is equal to architecture dot replace. Now we are replacing 5413. Okay, 5413 by architecture. Okay, and that's what we've done. And now when we call upon architecture, we realize that architecture doesn't contain 5413, it now contains architecture. Do you understand? So that is what you can do with data manipulation or pandas. You can go about the data, finding out the errors or the null values. Then you also go about changing or suiting it or performing the task you want to perform by just manipulating the columns and the rows. Okay, so that's what I just wanted to do concerning data manipulation. The last thing we are supposed to do is just combine those two industries. Okay, so to combine those two industries, you just do pd concat. So you say whole or final, which is the final industry, okay, is equal to pd.concat. All right, concat. Then you do the pd.concat, then you combine those two data frames. The first one is what? Broadcasting, and the second one is what? Architecture. Okay, all right. So you just call upon the final data frame, which is final. There's an error. Oh, sorry. This thing, there is supposed to be a square bracket here. Yeah, then okay, so final, let me copy and put this final here. Now when you run this, you realize that you have broadcasting as one industry and architecture as one industry combined as one data frame for you. So that's all I wanted us to do, for you to have an idea of what you can do with pandas, how we combine the 15 CSV files, extract one industry, which is a combination of 3 different industries, 515, 518, and 519. Change the names of those unique industries to one thing, which is broadcasting, and also combine the broadcasting with another industry architecture. So that's what you can use pandas for. All right. Please, do you have any questions? It's 6 p.m. Do you have any questions, please?
Okay. So Franklin, thank you very much for this high-level introduction to pandas, how we can manipulate data with pandas. It's very interesting because I found some of the functions similar to some of the functions in Excel. So I can relate to some of the stuff that you did. That was powerful. Thank you very much for this wonderful introduction. So guys, if you have any questions, you can ask your question. Just raise your hand and I'll give you the opportunity to speak. If you can't speak, you can use the chat. You can text your message there and we are going to read out the question to Franklin for him to answer for you. So we are giving just 2 minutes. If we don't get any questions, we can wrap up for today. So we are giving just 2 minutes. If you have any questions, just raise your hand. So Matthew, you can speak.
Thank you very much. Please, I wanted to find out from the beginning, that is how to combine all the 15 CSV files.
Yeah.
The code over there is a bit confusing. I don't know if you can make it available that.
Okay, thank you, Martin.
Sorry, the GitHub page. Every code you have there is within the GitHub page. Okay, let me share my screen. I've already shared my screen. Look at it. When you open the first man repository, it's within this one, time analysis series. Everything, every code, everything I did and deleted is over here within this one. But it has more more functions. You see over here, I combine only 2 industries, but within it, I combine a lot of industries. Do you understand?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And I've shared my email. That's my email, and I'm also sharing my LinkedIn page. So if you have any questions, any follow-up questions, you can just give me a message there. All right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Elijah has also raised a hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Elijah.
Hi. Also, my question is, I have heard from a lot of people that Python's language, especially even when you compare Python with R, for instance, Python's language happens to be simpler. So, for instance, adding up to my friend's question, with a time series file which you have directed us with, where we have the code in there, which you need to join all the CSV files. I don't know, I'm still reading, but I'm not really getting it. Where you imported the globe library and then you use that one in there, and a whole number of things that are in there. So maybe for us, I'm thinking there are annotations to the code. Maybe if we specify this globe, this is what it does. Then I spell it somewhere and all these kind of things. Or maybe they are just codes that are meant to be used, or there are solutions to that. That is my question.
The data frame or the CSV or the Jupyter file itself has a lot of comments that you can understand. But what you just mentioned concerning the globe and the functionalities of the libraries, that I didn't mention. I just made it general, important libraries. But if you have further questions, look through, then text me on LinkedIn. I've shared the link, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Franklin, but I remember you, I even asked what the globe does and you explain all the libraries, okay. But the issue is with that particular syntax or the code that actually combined, can you take just like a minute or two to take us through or even start from scratch with that particular code where you combine the file? I could see that's where the issue is.
Okay. All right.
Or maybe because of your time, you wouldn't be able to address it. No problem. You can do maybe a short video on that and then you can send it to me. I'll be able to send it to other participants if that's fine.
I can do it now, no problem.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. The repository that the files are in. Okay. So you name it file path and you give it the repository. Make sure you start with this arrow. What the arrow means is reading the files from this specific directory. You get it? Now, when you're done, you use the globe library to combine everything within it. Okay. So instead of you doing file path plus the 15 CSV files names one after the other, you use this specific thing, this asterisk.csv, to combine everything within it, because all the files in there are CSV files. And because you have the extension .csv, it will combine all the CSV files as one specific thing. Do you get it? So you use the Python for operator. What the Python for operator does, it iterates over the CSV files one after the other. So for the CSV files, within these CSV files, all CSV files that we've combined here, it's going to read each of the CSV files one after the other. So it reads the first one. It goes to the first one, reads it, goes to the second one, reads it, goes to the third one, reads it, goes to the fourth one, reads it. After reading everything, then it gives it to this empty list. Now the empty list over here takes the one CSV file as one thing. The next one comes, takes another one. The next one comes, takes another one. So it reads the first one, puts it in it. Second one, puts it in it. Third one, puts it in it. So it does it for the whole 15 files. Now, if after combining everything, then the Pandas concatenation, that's what we just did. Putting the CSV files one on top of each other. You get it? So that it becomes one data frame. That's what the whole set of code is about. We first pinpoint out the directory, use the glob to combine everything into one variable, then use the for loop to read it one after the other into one specific list. Then you use the pd.concat to combine it to put it one on top of each other into one data frame. Do you understand?
Yeah, Franklin, I think it's clear now. Yes, so when we get access to that code, I'm sure we'll be able to go through that with the explanation that you have given. So thank you very much. So guys, if no one is having a question, then we can wrap up here. So we appreciate your time and we thank you very much. So to be able to follow us through or follow up on our subsequent series of programs and other training, you can see Firstman School on LinkedIn. You can also see Firstman School on Facebook. When you go to Twitter, we are also there. We also have our website at firstman.io, www.firstman.io. So you'll be able to access everything. So with this recording, we are going to place it on our website and we are going to let you guys know when this video is made available on the website. So you can go there and then watch the video. So I want to thank you very much, Franklin, for your time with us today. The time has been really fruitful. We have learned a lot from this introduction. So we appreciate your time and we wish you all the best. So the other participants, we also want to thank you very much. So Franklin, would you like to take a good photo or something like that?
Yeah, I was even about to ask. It's very necessary. Yeah, for the record.
Okay, guys, so let's do a short group photo and then we can wrap up.
Please, if you can turn off your feed, we'll much appreciate it. Yeah. Can see Elijah.
So you can turn on your video, then you'll be able to. So Franklin, can you exit from the screen share?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Okay. So thank you guys for coming. Okay, so let me get my.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so guys, you can do a wave, then we can capture the series and then we wrap up. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
Bye.